Hello everyone. In this session, we'll see application of integration. So let's start with the first one, which is area under the Cartesian curve. Area under the Cartesian curve. So this can be given as, let's say there is a function y this is x, this is y, and let's say y is a function of x. Then under certain limit or interval of x, let's say this is x is equal to a to b, we need to find this area, and this area can be given as integration of y with respect to dx for the limit x is equal to a to b. Now there are also some possibility then that they might be asking area between two curves. So let's say we can do this on the same curve also or in the different curve also. So let's say this was y equal to f of x. What if there is another curve which is z equal to, don't take this z as z axis wala z, let's say this is g of x, right? So in that case they want to find the area between two curves. This is area between two curves. This is going to be the area under this y and this area under this right. If this is a, this is going to be a1 minus a2, right? This one is a2, this was a1. So this will be nothing but integration of y minus z, integration with respect to x from x is equal to a to b. This will give you the area between two curves. Now there are possibility that the curve given is in the form of polar curve. So let's say area enclosed by polar curve. Mind this term enclosed. The previous one in the Cartesian it is under the curve, whereas in the case of polar plot it is enclosed by it. So let's say if this is a polar plot, this is a polar graph given as r is equal to, let's say, f of theta, then if we are trying to find the angle between a certain angle, let's say alpha, and another angle, let's say beta, then the area enclosed between alpha and beta is this one. So this is not the area under the graph, where instead of that this is the area enclosed by the curve, and this expression is given by area is equal to half of integration from theta is equal to alpha to beta for r square d theta, right? So you have to mind this, that this is the area enclosed by the polar curve. Next one is length of the curve. So in case if we are in two dimension, this length small ds, this is the elementary length, this is given as under root of dx square plus dy square. And in 3 dimension, this ds is given as under root of dx square plus dy square plus dz square. Dz square, right? So we'll elaborate on this. Let's say, so this length of the curve will be given as integration of ds. Obviously ds is the elementary length of that curve, right? Let's say this is the curve. If you take a elementary part, this is going to be dx and this is going to be dy. For a small part, we can consider this to be a straight line, and this straight line, as per the Pythagoras theorem, can be given as ds is equal to under root of dx square plus dy square, as we have written in this previous expression. So in case if y is equal to function of x, if y is function of x, then this ds can be given as, because in this case we can find dy by dx, so this can be given as, instead of writing dx square plus dy square, we can write it as under root of 1 plus dy by dx square times of dx. In that case, it will be easier to integrate for the length of the curve. We can integrate this. Let's say this is term alpha. Let's say we are not repeating it, so we can write integration of this for the limits of x, right? Now it will be easier. And what if, like, let's say we are in 3 dimension, and what if this x is a function of t, y is also a function of t, and z is also a function of t, then this ds, which is given as dx square plus dy square plus dz square, instead of that we can write it in terms of as dx by dt square plus dy by dt square plus dz by dt square integration with terms of dt. Because x, y, z are all function of t, so instead of dx square, dy square, dz square, we can write dx by dt square, dy by dt square and dz by dt square. Then it will be easier to integrate this certain function, let's say alpha again, in terms of dt with the limits of t, right? This makes it easier. Now the next one is fourth one, which is volume of revolution. Let's say we have a function y is equal to f of x given as like this. Then if we rotate this y about this x axis, this is x, this is y is equal to f of x, then we can rotate this and maybe it will look like this, right? This will make a circle, because for every position of x is equal to, let's say, a, there will be a certain function value y is equal to f of a. Right? So this will make a revolution and form a body something like this. Right? So now let's say this was point B and this was point A. So we are having a solid body, and in this case the volume will be given as integration of this area of the disk. Let's say this disk will be at one point, we are showing you the disk. Let's say this is one disk, this is another one. So what is the area of this disk? This area of this circle is going to be pi y square, because this is your y, this is the radius of this circle formed, right? About x-axis, this is the radius which will rotate and make this a circle, this circle, right? So this will be pi y square, and then we should integrate it for dx so that we can get the volume for x is equal to, let's say, a to b. So this will give you the volume, and we can say that y was probably f of x, right? This is possible. Similarly, we can also find the surface area, or we'll say area of surface of revolution. How to find this? Of course, we can take a disk. Let's say this is, let's say we are taking a small portion of this with the thickness, this thickness is nothing but ds, and we also know that this thickness is nothing but the length of this curve, right? If this is the curve, this is nothing but the length of this curve, and this ds can be found as ds is equal to under root of dx square plus dy square, right? So now what we want is the surface area will become the ring will have into ds. So this area or surface area, this area will be two pi r into ds. Yes, this will be 2 pi r into ds. And what is this r? This r is again nothing but the value of y at this point, right? This is the radius, so this will become integration, obviously this will become integration of 2 pi y integration with respect to s, where ds will be given like this. So obviously there are possibility that dx and dy will have some relation, and then we can easily integrate this, right? So this is going to be the area of the surface of the revolution. So these are few of the terms which we'll use and find the values required.